Hi everyone, my name is Paulina and you are watching Bites of Books. Today I'm actually doing a tag that was created by Ariel Bissett. I will be tagging it down below. And it is called the End of the Year Book Tag. And so I'm going to talk to you about that. So let's get to that. So the question number one is, are there any books that you started this year that you want to finish before the year ends? And yes, there are actually two. The first one I started at technically at the very end of last year, but I never got around to finishing it. I got about 48 pages in, and it is A Lost Lady by Willa Cather. And I can't remember why I stopped reading it. I think I got another book at the moment and got distracted or something. But I mean, it was actually really interesting. I want to know what happens. Yeah, I was just 50 pages in, and then I stopped. I don't know why, but I will finish it before the end of the year. And then the other one is one that I got out of the library last month, and so I really need to finish it so I can return it. And that is Terry Pratchett's A Blink of the Screen. These are short stories by Terry Pratchett that go from his very first short story that he wrote in high school up until his Discworld short stories. And I need to read this. Oh, look at the back. The back is, there's this cool graphic of him writing, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I want to finish this one. And I said to myself I was going to read one per night, one short story per night, but I haven't done that, so hopefully I can do that soon. And then question number two, do you have an autumnal book to transition to the end of the year? I hadn't thought about this, but I think that some of the best, or when I think about autumn, I somehow end up thinking about John Steinbeck and his writing about, like, I don't know, his style is just very homey, very deep. I don't really know how to explain his style of writing, but I already had this for my TBR of last month and I didn't get to it, so this is going to be my autumnal read, and it's going to be The Winter of Our Discontent by John Steinbeck. You can see the title right there. And this is like an older edition that I inherited from my last boss. You can see there. And yeah, so hopefully I can get to this one this autumn. And then question number three is there a new release that you are still waiting for? No, I no longer go by new releases exactly. I don't get books like right when they come out. I just buy books or get books whenever I get to them. So no, there's no book that I'm waiting for this year, or that I have been waiting for this year. And then we have, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? And so these are 3 rather different ones. The first one is the second book in the Temeraire series, Throne of Jade by Naomi Novik. And this is the second installment in the series about dragons during the Napoleonic Wars. And I read the first book at the beginning of the year, and I really, really liked it, so I want to continue with this at this end of the year. So yeah, and then hopefully I can find book number 3 at some point, because I already found book number 4, but now I need the third one. So yeah. And then the second book that I want to read is one that I also have been wanting to read since last year, but somehow I didn't get to it, and it is The Orphan Master's Son by Adam Johnson. And this is a book of fiction, but it is the story of a boy who basically runs away from North Korea into South Korea, and it is about what happens to him and how he manages to get out of North Korea. And I'm really interested in this book, since I heard of it from, I believe it was Camille Reed's in his channel. And so I really, really want to read this, and hopefully I can do that by the end of this year. And then the third book that I want to get to is another one that I have been meaning to read because I've had this book, I think, since high school. I don't actually remember why I got it or how I got it, but well, the book is All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy, and I I honestly don't know why I got it, but I hadn't really gotten to it because I didn't know what it was about or anything. But I also heard, again, Camille talking about it, and so I was really interested in it. It is about like sort of like a Western book, but I understand that his writing is really, really good, and so I'm really looking forward to reading this. And then the next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become my favorite? Maybe. So I feel like there's this book, Only Revolutions by Mark Z. Danielewski, and this is a book that reads from both sides, so from here and from here. And if you look inside, you will see that the format is interesting. Like you can read from both sides, and there's notes in the margins and stuff like that. So I I don't know. Like I feel like this could seem very gimmicky, or it could be amazing. Like I don't know how it could be anywhere in between. Um, I'm really hoping this will surprise me and become like a favorite, rather than just being a book that seems to be randomly edited and formatted and stuff like that. This would be my first Danielewski book. I understand that he writes like this for most of his books, like House of Leaves and things like that. But I'm really hoping this is good because I really, really want to like it so I can keep reading his books. And then the last question is if I have already made plans for 2018. And I guess my answer would be kind of. I've been thinking a lot about how I've been reading books that I'm buying more recently and the books that I have owned previously, like for years, like the ones that I showed you right now, like that I bought years ago or that I've had for a long time. I haven't actually read those. So, and I also have a lot of classics that I have not gotten to. I have a lot of, I think I have all of John Steinbeck's books that I haven't read. A lot of them. I have Hemingway, Fitzgerald, Faulkner, Wharton, and I think I have like other random classics. And so, what I'm going to be doing, I think starting next month, is I'm going to read one classic per month. So, it might be like a short book, it might be like a long book. I think that the other goal for next year is going to be to finally read Ulysses, which I understand is a very intimidating book, but I have had it for also quite a long time, and I want to get to that soon, or at least next year. And yeah, so that is the tag for the end of the year, and hopefully I can get these books read. I am going to really try my hardest to not have any other books get in the way of these. These are not going to be read like this month. They're going to be read like from here until the end of the year, like December 31st. And I guess I can do an update on this to see if I actually did it. And yeah, so that is it for today, and I hope to talk to you soon.